Good evening, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are our top stories. Police have launched a murder investigation into the fatal stabbing of a 16-year-old student in Bandar Utama, revealing that the 14-year-old suspect had purchased the knife online and left behind a handwritten note. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Shazali Kahar said only one, a 30cm hunting knife, was used in the 9:10 a.m. attack on Tuesday, October 14, which left the victim with multiple fatal wounds.
The other weapons found in his possession were a kerambit and a pocket knife.
Siasatan awal mendapati bahawa suspek memperolehinya dengan membeli secara online.
Bila dia beli?
Ya?
Dijangka bila beli?
Itu satu tempoh yang lama juga. Semua. Siasatan pada ringkas masa ini mendapati tiada unsur budi terlibat. Siasatan awal juga mendapati suspek dan mangsa tidak mempunyai hubungan atau interaksi sebelum kejadian. Adalah dipercayai faktor dorongan emosi dan pengaruh media sosial dikenal pasti sebagai antara punca tindakan suspek berkelakuan sedemikian.
The note, now circulating on social media, reportedly included the message, quote, "This world is fake, I have already won," end quote. Police believe emotional stress and exposure to social media content may have influenced the suspect's actions. So far, police have recorded 57 statements from students, teachers and family members of both the suspect and the victim. CCTV footage from the school is also currently being analysed. The suspect, who was arrested shortly after the attack, has been remanded for 7 days until October 21st to cease investigations under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. Police say they are working closely with the Ministry of Education (MOE) to reinforce safety and security measures in schools statewide.
The Federal Cabinet is set to discuss social media consumption among youths to address disciplinary issues in the wake of recent violent incidents, including the fatal stabbing of a student in Selangor. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said stricter measures on smartphones and social media use youths will be highly considered, while responsibility also rests with parents and schools. Anwar said many of the recent incidents can be traced back to excessive usage and consumption of social media.
Tetapi bila kita lihat semuanya menjurus kepada juga keluarga, mungkin menjadi beberapa peraturan sekolah, tetapi hampir kesemuanya balik kepada telefon bimbit dan smartphone dan social media dan apps.
Anwar said the matter will be tabled at the next cabinet meeting with a holistic approach that focuses on safety, discipline and the impact of digital platforms on students' behavior. The remarks come amid national outrage over two recent cases: the murder of a 16-year-old student by a schoolmate in Bandar Utama, Petaling Jaya, and an alleged gang rape of a Form 3 student in Malacca. 4 suspects in the Malacca case have been remanded for 6 days under Section 375B of the Penal Code for gang rape.
Sarawak is setting its sight on reaching an economic tipping point by 2030, a crucial milestone in its pursuit of high-income status and a stronger role as a major economic player in the ASEAN region. Premier Dato' Paling Gindaan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said the state is now transitioning from a pre-modern economic phase towards maturity based on the Kuznets curve theory. During that team retreat held in Singapore, he said Sarawak's current development strategy is focused on balancing economic growth with environmental sustainability, ensuring that the state's progress does not come at the expense of its natural resources.
By 2030, we become the rank of developed country. And if Sarawak can be a developed state, not only within Malaysia, but we can have influence on ASEAN economy. Dan yakin itu nyamuk kita jadi supply energy on ASEAN grid. But we must have disciplined people lah, untuk kita melihat perancangan masa depan. Tipping point situ, now kita akan pergi ke situ. GDP maybe less than what going to be here. It is less, but kita sudah jadi high income. And this one is kita within ASEAN. Kita bukan ajak macam Bavaria to Germany, bukan ajak Sarawak to Malaysia, but maybe Sarawak to ASEAN. That is kita pun objektif. In Sarawak will be known as an advanced, high income and modern state.
The Premier said Sarawak is poised to become a regional economic force, supplying energy to the ASEAN power grid and playing a strategic role in the energy and gas industries. He stressed that with strong natural resources, a disciplined workforce, and sound long-term planning, Sarawak is on track to achieve developed high-income status by 2030, in line with the PCDS 2030.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has stressed that there is no need to impose taxes on the people if the nation's lost revenue due to leakages can be recovered and reclaimed. According to him, such a move will be sufficient to fund national expenditures without burdening the people. He also made it clear that such a tax can only be implemented once the issue of revenue leakages is fully addressed.
He cited an example where 15.5 billion ringgit was successfully recovered through seizures and penalty collections as a result of the government's firm actions in addressing revenue leakages.
Jadi kalau saya boleh dapat 15 bilion daripada hasil rampasan daripada ataupun yang sebagai cukai dan tipu dan penyeludupan dan penyeludupan rokok, arak, sindiket dan online scam macam-macam ni, mengapa saya harus cukai rakyat?
Anwar also added that these recoveries allow the government to redistribute national resources for development and public welfare. Meanwhile, touching on GST, Anwar explained that it cannot be implemented due to moral and social justice concerns. He stated that the broad-based GST approach imposed without considering the people's financial capacity is currently unfair.
Saya masih beranggapan GST itu satu sistem percukaian yang telus dan efisien, transparent. Tapi saya kata apa masalah kita? Pendapatan rakyat itu masih rendah. 1,500, 1,700, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. Dan kita dalam GST itu transparent. Cukai semua. Jadi saya kata dari segi moral, apakah boleh kita cukai orang yang paling miskin? Bagi saya, dapat saya, tak sesuai. Apakah sistem itu baik? Baik. Tapi belum ketikanya.
The World Zakat and Wakaf Forum WZWF 2025 concluded today with the adoption of 10 key resolutions aimed at strengthening the role of Zakat and Wakaf in social, economic and humanitarian development. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, Dato Dr. Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, emphasised that these resolutions must be translated into real actions that create direct impact for the Ummah.
Kita harapkan semoga zakat dan wakaf ini apabila dikumpul kelak akan dapat memberikan manfaat yang besar, khususnya kepada golongan mereka-mereka yang memerlukan bantuan. Saya ingat antara resolusi penting dalam forum ini berkaitan dengan peranan zakat dan juga wakaf untuk membantu khususnya golongan yang tertindas di Palestin dan juga Gaza. Jadi yang ini saya ingat antara resolusi yang penting yang telah dicapai dalam conference pada kali ini.
Naim also highlighted that one of the most critical resolutions is the call to strengthen humanitarian assistance through zakat and wakaf for the people of Gaza and other oppressed communities worldwide. He added that Malaysia will continue to support all efforts by the World Zakat and Wakaf Forum to ensure that these instruments are further developed as key pillars of the Islamic economy. Among the 10 resolutions adopted at the Kuching Forum were commitments to enhance global governance of Zakat and Waqf institutions, accelerate digital transformation and transparency, support humanitarian relief in Palestine and Gaza, promote sustainable development in education, healthcare, environment and the digital economy, as well as foster cross-sector collaboration for shared prosperity.
On to world news. Dozens of troops and civilians were killed in a fresh round of border skirmishes between Pakistan and Afghanistan on Wednesday, officials on both sides of the frontier said. As clashes entered their second week, violence between the two neighbors has flared since explosion in Afghanistan last week, including two in the capital Kabul that were blamed on Pakistan.
یو بل حضرت الله ولو د دوا اوان رالي د افغانستان د خاصه د طالبان د خاصه اوان رالي مش په کور کې ومشتي د دوا خپل رزخمیان کړ حضرت الله کوچ لواسا وي د غسترګ لګیدل د ډیر خوش دی او د دې داخله
से हमारी इमरजेंसी डिक्लेयर हुई है बॉर्डर पे हालात कशीदा हो गए पाकिस्तान और अफगानिस्तान के दरमियान जंग छिड़ गई है वक्तन फवक्तन फायरिंग का सिलसिला रात से चल रहा है गोलाबारी और फायरिंग रात से चल रही है और कैजुअलिटीज आना हमें तकरीबन सुबह 6 बजे से कैजुअलिटीज आना स्टार्ट हो गई.
The Taliban government in Kabul launched an offensive along parts of its southern border in retaliation, prompting Islamabad to vow a strong response of its own. Islamabad has accused Afghanistan of harboring militant groups led by the Pakistani Taliban Tehreek-e-Taliban (TTP) on its soil, a claim Kabul denies. In the latest violence, Pakistan's military accused the Afghan Taliban of attacking two major border posts in the southwest and northwest.
The Israeli army continues sporadic attacks on Palestinians despite ceasefire as Health Ministry reports more lives forcefully taken with guns, tanks and airstrikes. Meanwhile, Hamas has handed over the bodies of 4 more Israelis to the Red Cross, bringing the number of released disease captives to 8. 3 bodies have been identified by family, while Israeli army said 4th does not match any recorded captive. On the other hand, Israel has handed over the bodies of 45 more Palestinians to the Red Cross, bringing the total number of bodies returned to 90, according to Gaza's Health Ministry. The ministry said medical teams are continuing to examine, document and prepare the bodies for delivery to families in line with approved medical procedures and protocols. Israel still holds hundreds of bodies of Palestinians killed since October 7, 2023, including of fighters who took part in the attack and the fighting afterwards. And that's all the news for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.